What a way to start.
So, what were we going to talk about to start? The simulation theory? The not simulation theory?
Yeah, the reason why we may not believe in it. And I think we need to start off with what simulation theory is, because some people might not remember exactly what that is.
It's exactly what it sounds like. It's the theory that the universe is the simulation, right? It's the hologram universe, the holographic universe that we've read, come out of the intelligence command, right? That they believe that the universe is a hologram. You have all of the astrophysicists now that do these TED Talks and whatever, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a better chance that we're in a simulation than we're not. Elon Musk says this. So there's this whole simulation theory, right? And this whole time I've been like, yeah, man, the vibrations and the holograms and the universe and all this, right? It makes sense. And at the same time, I've been like, these people are paid shills to lie to us about the chemtrails and all the NASA and all that. And then I'm thinking to myself, why am I sitting here thinking that the simulation theory is real? The simulations, that's what they're preaching. It's probably not real. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of how we ended the episode last week, was just how do you even know what to believe?
Right.
Because then it's it literally is when you question everything. When everything is you don't know if it's real or not.
And then we find the document, right? The FOIA document from the intelligence command, and sure, it says in the 80s that they think that it's a hologram or whatever, but what if they just knew that's, you know what I mean? They just knew then that in 20, 30, 40 years, this document would come out like everything else, and they could just use it as a psyop, you know what I mean? Make them think that it is a simulation. And at that time, we'll have artificial intelligence and quantum computing that'll be dictating all of the rules and the sciences and everything else, and we'll be able to literally tell them that it's a simulation and prove it, quote unquote, you know what I mean? Because, they have the technology. Remember we were talking about hypernormalization, the idea that the governments, the finance, the bank, the corporations, the media, everything back in the 70s, or you put a date on it, right? I don't like to put specific dates unless I know. But the idea that they changed reality because it was too complicated, right? So they wanted to make a new reality that was less complicated, easier for them to control and manage. What if they overlaid this simulation hologram over real reality, right? What if this is real reality, but there's some sort of augmented reality going on over here?
So weird to think about.
I actually think, I'm just now remembering this. I didn't come to the table with this today, but I'm just now thinking of something. Maybe you can look this up. The idea or the conspiracy or the theory that we live in 300 AD right now. Right? The year is actually some ancient year. That's a random number, so don't Google that. But we live in some ancient Greek time or Roman time, and that we live in a hologram projection over this ancient 300 AD. See if you can find that somehow, because I know that that's a theory I've come across.
My brain literally can't.
Did you just break? Did I break your head now?
Think about how that even works.
Yeah, so
it's okay. So what we're seeing is not really here?
Kind of.
We're the same?
Yeah, how could I explain this? Have you seen HoloLens, Microsoft HoloLens? Have you seen augmented reality? Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can pull your phone up, right? And you can see the room you're in.
Yeah.
And then Pikachu's there, and you can interact with him. He's not really there, but just in the augmented reality, right? That's what they call augmented reality. And then they have games on HoloLens. Corona. They have games on the HoloLens where I saw it was like a Space Invaders game where the guy was sitting in his living room with the thing on, right? And he could see his living room just like normal. And then all of a sudden, like the walls and the ceiling collapsed, and like the Space Invaders aliens like came into his living room, and he had to like right, like
Yeah.
so. What if that idea is what we live in and have been living in for who knows?
Like we're all wearing a thing.
Maybe, or maybe like that idea of an augmented HoloLens, holographic universe is just overlaying the real reality that is actually whatever year it really is. It's not 2021. It's 380. I don't know. Again, I read this at some point, but you know, sounds crazy, but it could be true. You know, if you want to go based off of what these billionaires and astrophysicists are saying now, because again, Elon Musk, you know, if you look, anybody can Google Elon Musk simulation theory, you know, and he'll sit there and explain how there's more. Basically, the way it works is with the growth of technology, assuming any growth at all, right? You know, of course, the growth isn't just going to stop. So assuming any growth, even if it's just 0.00001% of growth, at some point in the future, right, the technology will get so advanced that you won't be able to distinguish like a virtual reality, like a video game from reality, right? Like it's already getting kind of close. You can look at a video game, and if you're not paying attention, you'll think it's a movie, right?
Right.
So at some point, it'll be so real that you won't be able to distinguish reality. So, and then, you know, something about, you know, there's going to be billions of people with the technology to make simulations with this technology and blah, 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 blah. So the chances are like 1 in billions that we live in base reality now and that we don't live in a simulation already. You know what I mean? Like it's more likely we're in the simulation. But I can't buy it because they push
they're
it.
feeding it to us.
Right.
Yeah. What does that say?
This is just what you were saying. It's like this is from 2015. Like Forbes posting it. Like what was
Forbes is posting. What is this about? The holographic image over.
This is just do we live in a hologram?
Do we live in a hologram?
It's
more
more
likely
likely
than
than
you
you
might think. From Forbes in 2015, you said.
Yeah.
So there you go. I mean, yeah, it's not a new idea, but it is being pushed a lot, and, you know, and even people who like me who like to think that I'm thinking out of the box, like I can fall into this stuff, thinking that the holographic universe and the simulation theory, like I'm gung ho, like this has got to be it. It's got to be it. We found a document. We found this. We found that. Like it all makes sense. But maybe not. Maybe it's all, you know, the propaganda that the CIA.
Yeah, I mean,
director said.
what I'm starting to think is that there's different propaganda, like multiple different things, but all with the same purpose, because not everybody is going to all believe the same things. Like
Right.
other people are just not going to believe any of this stuff ever,
Right.
you know? So it's like they have to use different things to control those people, you know? So makes me wonder if it's like, you know, things like this where they are putting this out there to try and, you know, the people that are conspiracy theorists make
Just
but
Make a
yeah,
side shoot, you know.
right. So they're
Get lost in the side trail here. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But they're doing it to
I mean,
everybody
it's
in different
definitely-
ways.
That definitely happens. There's no
Yeah.
doubt about that. There's always misinformation to guide you, and then like down this misinformation trail, you'll find like a good nugget of real truth again, right? So you really think you're on the right. And, you know, they do this all the time. It's
Yeah.
genius how, you know, there's no way for anybody to determine what is going on. I think the
Right.
web is too deep. It's too intricate.
There's too much. It's too easy to just put anything fake out there now.
For sure. Oh yeah, especially now.
It's like, how do you
Ooh, we should
really
talk
fact
about
check
that some.
anything?
You know, we should really talk about this because this I think is important that people just kind of overlook. And I mean, I know people read about it and talk about it, like the deep fake technology. You know what I mean? The fact that they can make a video, or not even they, just a computer, artificial intelligence can make a video of anybody they want saying what
Did
they
you
want.
post that video?
I think
It
I
was
might
like
have.
some.
It was the Obama one at first. It was like, which one of these videos of Obama is real? And then it
No,
was,
I saw one and it was like some guy giving a speech and he just kept morphing into like different
oh yeah,
people
that, yeah,
standing in the same thing with a different voice.
yeah,
Like everything just you're watching them just change it into this person and that person and you're like,
yeah.
and
So
they look real.
real, yeah. So the deep fakes, again, they can make you look. The artificial intelligent deepfake technology can make a video out of anything. I can be sitting here saying anything I want. I like ice cream. Somebody could take whoever's picture they want, right, and mask it over me and use my words and take that voice from that person, and they can literally make a video where that person sat here and said those words. Now that's really dangerous because now you can instantaneously, because remember, the problem is something happens, somebody messes up, right, and then the articles go out, right, the first article goes out, such and such did this terrible thing, the whole world explodes, Twitter blows up, blah blah blah, it's viral, and then it comes to find out, oh, we made a mistake, and the apology comes out, nobody reads the apology. 1% of the people react, read, and share the apology. 99% of the people react, read, and believe the initial story, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, same thing with the deepfakes. There's going to be a video that's going to come out. It's going to be the president of some country, maybe ours, maybe North Korea, some dildo, Putin's going to come out on video, and it's going to be like, we just hit the red button. Boom, there's the nukes. They're on the way. Sorry, fuck you, right? And then everybody's going to be freaking out, and it's all going to be a deepfake video, but it's going to be too late. Or it's going to be some crazy event that's going to take place because some diplomatic deepfake video is going to go viral, and it's going to be like, oh my God, like, look at this video of this so-and-so and this thing, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. Well, I
very
was
dangerous.
thinking too, like, if they have that technology that obviously is out there and it looks really real, for the people like we mentioned last week that think that Biden is actually dead, how easy would it be to just, because the people will say like, well, he's, on TV still having speeches, but it's like they could be using that technology to
Yeah.
just make him look like he's there.
And it's not like...
And with all of the stuff with COVID and them limiting the amount of people that are actually seeing him in person and things like that.
They won't release the records of who Zoom calls with him.
They won't release the records of who Zoom calls with Joe Biden. They just won't.
Yeah, because he does all these meetings virtually, and so there's
Yeah.
a checklist. Like
Right. So they just won't release the list of Zoom calls.
Also, he can't do a speech for more than 10 minutes.
I mean, look, here's the thing, man. We all
Yeah,
know...
and he's not like, I don't know, if you really listen, he says a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah.
Like, maybe that's just
Look,
the way
we
he
all
talks.
know
But I
that
don't
we
know.
all know that Joe
I mean,
Biden is
yeah.
not in his prime. Okay. And we all know that if anybody was going to, like, I guess, stand on the world stage and, like, represent us, which is kind of a joke anyways to think that that's what's going on here. But let's just say, you feed into the game 100%. But if you're going to pick somebody to, like, stand up on the world stage, and this is not like an anti-Biden thing, but the dude is like 80 something years old, he's like losing his mind, like any 80-year-old, but it's not even he's just old, man.
Yeah, like, come on.
Give me somebody who's young and enthusiastic, like the Obama
My
situation.
grandfather's 80, turning 85, and
Yeah.
he, the other day, couldn't remember that he's ever had ricotta cheese.
And that's
Like,
fine. And listen, you
it's-
love him, right?
Yeah,
He's
but
an amazing
he's not
dude.
gonna be the
You don't
president.
want him to be the president,
Yeah.
and that's fine. You could do other things, play shuffleboard.
Because I'm like, oh,
you know.
don't go outside without your cell phone in
Yeah,
case something
you know.
happens. You're like, okay.
So,
come on.
anyways, the point is, like, I don't know. I don't know what the point was. The point was the dude's losing his mind, and we all know this.
Totally. Or
it's-
he's dead.
But that was what we were talking about, the deepfakes. There's the idea of, these people are like in an underground bunker this whole time. I've been hearing this floating around too, that all these high-level politicians and military leaders, they're not even out and about and in public. Yeah, they might say, oh, yeah, they're at the White House doing a press conference right now. Or look, we saw a video of him getting off the plane in New Hampshire at a little thing, right? Or even Trump, right? Trump was at the thing and we saw him there, or whoever, whatever, right? Could totally be bullshit. They could all be
For
in a
sure.
deep underground bunker, and all those videos could be deep fake videos, right? To keep the public all like, right? while they're doing the moves that they need to be doing to get ready for the event.
The event.
Yep, the event, the Great Reset.
I mean, if you think about it,
Burn.
to do deepfakes, they need like hundreds and hundreds of pictures of you.
Not anymore.
But every time you unlock your phone with your face, that's a picture.
Right, the bio data, they could be using it for deepfake data.
I mean, the Russian thing. With
Well, but
the
still,
making
he
gold.
was the vice president,
But I'm saying,
so he has
they
plenty
could
of.
be
Right.
using it with all of us.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's true.
they could put you, me. They could put me because I have the unlock with my phone.
I don't.
With my face, and I also did the face app thing.
Doesn't matter. You have pictures
I
online.
have tons of pictures online. They
Pictures
could
online.
put me
Yeah.
at the Capitol riot.
Yep.
There you are,
Yep.
going to jail.
Yep. Did you guys hear that? Let me repeat that because they probably didn't hear that. They could put you, any of you.
Whoa, that's.
We're talking
there's a
too
lizard.
much. We're talking too much. Listen.
Oh, you guys are creeping me out.
With this technology, they can put any of you at the Capitol riot,
Or any riot.
at the Boston bombing,
Just because they
At
know
Sandy
you
Hook.
refused the vaccine.
in the plane at 9/11. They could put you wherever they want to put you. If you want to, if you're the guy who sent those pipe bombs from here in Florida, remember the pipe bombs that went out from the crazy guy with the Trump van, right? We never heard of him anymore, right? He just disappeared, right? This is apparently a huge event. This guy was he's manufacturing all these bombs. You guys remember this, right? And he mailed these bombs to these politicians and blah, 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 disappeared. Right? They could put Creamer's face with deepfake technology, CCTV camera, whatever, boom, he's there. Done. You're done. Don't care what you say. We have the evidence. Okay? So it's not just, oh, they could make fake videos of Joe Rogan and, it's like, yeah, they could do that. And that's fun. It's fun. I have a Reface app, not a promotion, should be. There you go. But like, yeah, it's the same thing. I can put my face. I do it all the time. We're in the chat with the homies. We're joking around. I put my face on Mel Gibson's face in Braveheart where he's like, freedom, but it's my face, and it's like a GIF and he's doing the thing. And yeah, so hopefully
Going to jail.
hopefully none of us show up at the next event on accident. You know what I mean?
Well, if you keep refusing that vaccine,
Yeah,
you
don't get-
might be.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to get our vaccine? Fine.
Yeah. Don't get the vaccine. Oops, you just happen to be at the next Las Vegas shooting. It's like, oh shit. That's a good one too. Las Vegas shooting. Everybody forgot about that, right? That kind of went away. Biggest shooting in American history, and it all went away. The guy's name was Paddock, and he was shooting at a crowd of people fenced in at a concert at the Meadow. I think it was like the Meadow Festival. That's kind of ironic, right? Coincidence. Paddock
Our cousin was there, right?
shooting at a flock of people in a meadow festival, right? The Meadow Festival. I don't know. I thought
Is
was
that
fun.
what it was called?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Our cousin was there.
Who?
Amanda.
We should talk to her. I want to talk to her.
I think it was her and her husband that were there.
I want to see what their opinion is. There's a lot of theories about that, man. That never went away. It just kind of got pushed aside in the news cycle,
Yeah, that's true.
Because there was too many questions. There was too many people asking too many valid questions, and they just couldn't cover it up. Even the people involved, like even some, like
Well, I didn't. We can talk about it because I didn't really
Dude,
hear
we'll
what
talk
the
about it.
questions.
I mean, first of
were.
all,
I just remember it happened, and then
Yeah.
Amanda posted about it, so I knew like her side, that it was like traumatic and all this stuff. But that's
sure.
about all I remember.
I mean, okay, there's a whole side of conspiracy theorists that think that these things don't even happen, right? That they'll say like, oh, nobody died at Sandy Hook, nobody died at Vegas, and it's like that's a little extreme. I think that the people did die because I don't think that the controllers, right? I don't think they give a shit. I think they'll gladly and easily wipe some of us out
Yeah.
for their rituals and stuff. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's a big deal for them. They're not going to go through the trouble of faking it with crisis actors, right? Yeah, there might be some crisis actors that do the interview that goes viral on NBC, right? Like that person might be a crisis actor.
Yeah.
But like, these events take place.
So, what is what the media told us about that?
About the Vegas shooting?
Yeah,
They
'cause I
told us
can't
that this
remember.
guy, I don't know what the official story ended up being because I've dug too deep now into it to
Yeah.
even know what the official story is. But it's something about the guy showed up, a couple days prior to the shooting. Now, originally the facts came out. He showed up by himself the day of, I believe, right? And, with this intention of just doing this mass shooting, right? It was just like a psychopath shooting
Okay,
situation.
so he didn't have like
No,
really
that was originally
any-
the
Okay.
first news that was breaking. And then as time went on, the news broke more that, there was another person that checked in with him, right? There was two people that checked in. And then people were like, it's probably just his love for prostitution or whatever. Like he likes hookers. Sure. Right. And then come to find out it was like 2 or 3 different women that were up and in the room. Then they come to find out that there was like a whole like arsenal of weapons. It's not like he brought 2 rifles. Now, here's the thing. I would never do something like this, but if you were going to do something like this, you wouldn't bring 40 different guns with you. You wouldn't bring different rifles, machine guns, and handguns and stuff like that with you to do some kind of mass shooting like this because, it's just not efficient. You would bring ammo maybe, but not lots of different guns.
That's true.
So then I think they might have even come out in the official story that he might have been like a gun runner. He might have been involved in some gun running, some illegal activities, and it went bad or something like that. I don't know if that came out as the official story or not, but it was bullshit what they told us.
Okay.
And if you look at the timeline, it was like the dude started shooting and it was like an hour and 20 minutes before they got into the room that he was shooting from.
It took them that long to get there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the conspiracy theory?
I mean, there's a lot. I mean, some of the conspiracies are saying that the people in the crowd are being shot from helicopters. They weren't being shot from this dude at all. I mean, this dude was found dead. When SWAT got into the room that Paddock was in, right? He was dead already. They didn't shoot him and take him out. He had taken his own life, quote unquote. Right? So after all this, he killed himself. Didn't
Right.
shoot it out, didn't, there's still guns, there's still ammo, there's still things. They found a bunch of explosives in his car. That didn't blow up, right? Like, so the thing is like, why did he just kill himself? So a lot of people think there was...
Because he clearly, if he had all that stuff, he was ready to go hard.
If that was the
Like,
plan.
right.
If that was his intention, he was
Yeah.
ready to go. He would have went harder than what he went,
Yeah,
right?
not just give up. that
Exactly. And a lot of people were saying that it was multiple shooters. Oh, maybe there was, multiple... Yeah, multiple floors, all these things. There was a woman that was filmed before the shooting in the crowd at the concert that was saying, "You're all going to die tonight." And she was like hysterical, freaking out, screaming, "You're all going to die. Everybody get out of here," all this stuff. So maybe she was one of the women that was, in his room that she knew some shit was
Yeah.
going down, There's theories that he was involved, that he was a gun runner. Okay. So he's connected to like the child pornography rings. His brother was arrested for child pornography, right? I think his wife put the FBI as an employer for some loan or some shit in another country, right? So there are these connections to him and these intelligence communities and these moves that they make. So I think he was running guns, probably running other shit too, right? Because if you're running one thing, you could run whatever you want. And he probably went to Vegas to do one of these gun deals with whoever's going to buy 100 guns and a bunch of explosives and stuff, right? Pick your cult, right? They probably took him out. The intelligence agencies probably used this as an opportunity because there's some symbology with the day that it happened and where it happened and stuff, which we'll get into if you want. But I think they took him out, because they knew that they could. He was already dark money, they could already use him as a scapegoat and erase him, without too many questions being asked because he was already one of their assets.
One profile picture.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even a profile.
He had a very...
And they found his social media in like 35 seconds.
Yeah. It was very odd that all of the
No
things...
name guy
quick. Right.
found him immediately.
Yeah, because it's like hard to find people. If you don't have mutual friends, it's actually pretty hard to find
Look at
people.
Epstein, okay? Epstein had all this dirt on a bunch of people, right? And he ended up dead, right? Now, is that because maybe he opened his mouth? He said he won too many threats. Maybe he threatened the wrong person. I got dirt on you. You ain't going to do shit to me. And he ends up dead, right? Maybe Paddock was one of these people. You know, he's doing these whatever. You know, he's making money for the CIA. Let's just put it like that, okay? Because,
Money for all that guns and ammo.
yeah, you got money for that. You got millions, you know, whatever. You know, the CIA is getting their money from illegal drugs and illegal guns and all these illegal black operations and all these things, right? So if you're one of these assets, you know, they could easily dispose of you and then make it look like this horrific event while also getting away with these other things, right? New legislation gets passed. They're trying to pass all these things. Oh, I can't get it passed. Let's just, you know, we'll do this event.
Right.
We'll get rid of this asshole because he's got some dirt on us. And we'll do some occult symbology.
So what's the symbolism stuff?
If I'm not mistaken, can we look up the date of the Las Vegas shooting? And I just want to look up the date before I call out the numbers. We're going to get a new computer one day whenever our listeners start donating.
Link will be in the description.
You could donate cryptocurrencies, regular currencies.
October 1st,
October 1st.
2017.
Okay.
61 deaths. 860.
How many people died?
Injured. 61 people died.
I thought it was...
Jeez.
Was it? 61 people?
No.
No, it's 15. I thought it was 58 people plus the shooter.
You might be thinking of Pulse.
He's 64 years old.
Pulse was, I want to say,
Route 91,
that much.
October 1st. So if you do a little number magic, you can find 911 there. Yeah. Route 91, October 1st.
Oh, okay. Well, this is...
Yeah.
Killing 60 people, wounding
The
400.
Route 91 Harvest Music Festival. There's
Yeah,
a
that's what I was
country
saying. The
music.
Harvest Music Festival. His name was Paddock, right? Like you guys, you know,
Like Jurassic Park,
farmers, man.
paddock.
Some farmer conspiracy.
They were gated
shit.
in, like in a paddock.
So there's a lot of different theories about this. You know, multiple shooters, shots from helicopters. I think he was on the 33rd floor or the 32nd floor, both of which numbers are important Illuminati numbers, if you believe in that kind of thing. Let's see.
What's that?
Oh, that's how they found him. It's artist rendition.
Artist rendition? I want to see. Scroll up.
Here's the question. Where is the security camera footage for the hallway?
Laying
leading
on
into
the
his
bed?
room? This dude, let's think about this for a second, people, right? This dude was on the 32nd floor, so they say, and he had brought 40 guns or whatever the number was of all types of guns, machine guns, belt-fed machine guns, rifles, blah, 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 blah. This dude brought an armory up there, okay, to the 32nd floor, and he got them into his room. How did nobody notice this, okay? And if he got away with this, where's the video? How come we can't see the video of him bringing the guns in? I understand if you don't want to give me the video of him shooting people. I can understand why you wouldn't want to make that like easily accessible to kids on YouTube. I get it. But you could show me the video of him going back and forth to the room 20 times with duffel bags full of guns, right? And let us see that he's by
They
himself.
have to have it.
Of course they have it.
It's like
Just
a
like they-
big
they-
hotel in Las Vegas.
Just like
come on.
that's what I'm saying. Just like they have the Pentagon video of the plane hitting the Pentagon, the most filmed building in the world, the most secure building in the world, and they got no video of this plane hitting it, right? You know what I mean? No, they've got the video. They don't want to show it to us because there's something fishy going on. The security guard, I don't know if anybody remembers this, the security guard at the hotel, the Mandalay Bay, he was shot 6 minutes before Paddock started shooting up the crowd of people down below. 6 minutes. He shot the security guard. Whatever happened, him and the security guard got into it in the hallway. The security guard was like, why you got that duffel bag for the 12th time? Right?
Yeah.
And they got into it. And he shoots him. 6 minutes go by before he starts shooting the crowd. An hour and 20 minutes go by before the SWAT kicks the door through and find him dead. Hard drive missing from the computer too, by the way. Look that up. That's a fact.
Definitely fishy.
This guy is like the perfect like Patsy.
Suicide.
All that.
Yeah, Patsy the scapegoat.
He's got
Yeah, he's got no
no
kids, divorce, no. He's just like a nobody.
That's what I'm
He was the
saying.
son of a bank robber. He's a big time gambler.
Right. That's why I was saying he was doing what he thought was a normal day at work, right? I'm going to use machine guns to some Saudi princes or some shit in the Mandalay Bay, right? That's what I'm going to do today. And then, he ends up dead. And then as a cover, probably, I hate to say this because, like, I'm like for the military, right? Like I'm that kind of patriot, right? Like I like the military, So I hate to say that like some SEAL Team 6 dudes probably went up in there and sprayed the people down below, but that's probably what happened. Maybe not SEAL Team 6, but it's the super soldier program that the government has, right? Those dudes that aren't really human. They get the tweaked genetics so that they don't feel any empathy or pain and they regenerate like we were reading about, right? Those special forces guys, like real special forces. We got to find a name for those guys so that I don't mix
Captain
them
America.
up. Because I hate doing that. I hate mixing up like special forces, which are like legit dudes, right? That are probably badasses that are out there trying to just do what they think is the best thing. And then you have like these special forces, right?
Black Ops guys.
The black ops, not even the black ops, like the
Cobra
genetic
stuff, right?
Cobra Command. Yeah, right. Those guys probably shot up the people in Vegas. You know what I mean?
This said he robbed
Because how many people were injured?
867.
867 people were injured. Now, if you're into military stuff or anything, what do they call that? Casualties, right? If you're an injury, you're a casualty. You don't have to die to be a casualty. So now let's reframe this. 800 some odd casualties. That's not one dude. That's a team of trained individuals to get 800 casualties.
Even if you hit 2 people with every round, you're still putting 400.
Well, he wasn't shooting across crowds of people. He was shooting down at crowds of people. So to hit 2 people with a round it's not as easy as it might seem.
And how long was he shooting for? Was it like 10, 15 minutes?
It was an hour and 15 or 20 minutes
15 minutes.
before the
Yeah, because I think it said
in.
it started at like 05 and 10 minutes.
The shooting was only 10 minutes, but
Put 400 rounds out in 10 minutes.
and it took him an hour to get into the room.
But it's like you're not going to hit somebody with every. I mean, I would think you might miss sometimes, right?
Of course.
Means you're doing thousands of rounds.
He would have to literally be tap dancing over belt-fed machine guns while holding 2 triggers at once, while getting multiple shots in at once. He was doing work, dude. No way.
Wonder he was so tired he had to kill himself.
No way. Anybody who's shot guns or knows anything about this at all will you just look at the numbers, think about it for like a minute or two, and you
Yeah,
could just
it
be
just-
like, this is not right.
Yeah,
dude.
doing the math, it just
800 casualties.
Come on.
Again, that's just how many people were injured, shot, right?
And like, how many
And
people were there?
I think like
I'm
50 or 60
curious.
people died.
Like in total, how many people
Probably
were
a
at
few
that
thousand
festival?
people. It was a concert in Vegas, Yeah.
20,000.
22,000 people. It's
Okay.
like shooting fish in a barrel. So I can see why you could get a lot, but you're not going to get in 10 minutes 800 casualties like that. That's insane.
Yeah.
There's no way. And then, like I said, you shot the security guard 6 minutes prior. What happened? The security guard just went downstairs. He went to the break room. He patched it up. He told his buddy, he was like, "What happened, dude?" And he's like, "Oh, bro, some dude shot me up on the 32nd floor." And he's like, "Oh, shit." And then they just kind of hung out.
Oh, so the security guard didn't die?
No, he didn't die. He disappeared too. Nobody's heard about him in a long time.
Okay, I was just assumed he died when you
No,
said that.
He got paid. He probably got a nice fat payout from Mandalay Bay. And he's living on an island somewhere. Nobody's heard from him. He's gone. You know what I mean? And it's
Jesus.
and his one and only interview I think that he did was with like Ellen DeGeneres.
Campos.
He didn't do any real interview after this. Probably the most important loose end
Yeah.
of this, the security guard. His one and only interview after this situation is with Ellen DeGeneres. No real questions. Nothing really. It's just like a big pity
yeah.
party type situation, right? And now the guy's gone, disappears.
Weird.
It's not weird, Jade. It's obvious.
No, it's weird that he went on Ellen DeGeneres. Like, that's so random.
Shit's ridiculous, man. I remember.
This is the most wacky part.
Everybody knows where they were, too. This is kind of like a 9/11 thing. Everybody knows where they were when they heard about this.
There are 5 suitcases on one day, 7 the next day, 2 days later, 6 2 days later, 2 the next day. 4 AR-15s.
So over the course...
AR-10s.
Over the course of like 4 or 5 days, he was bringing in 4, 5, 6 suitcases full of rifles each day. That's what, yeah. There's no way. Where's the video of him going up and down the elevator with the rifles and the duffel bags?
I mean, they must have it because they know exactly.
No, I know they have it.
Things. But this is with frequent help from Bellman too. So they're carrying all this ammo up there. He's got 13 guns up there. What are you doing with 13 guns? And then they just so happen to be the 2 things that they want to ban. Bump stocks and 100-round magazines.
Bump stocks and 100-round mags. I remember reading that. Yeah, the things that they were trying to push legislation. That's what I was saying. Like right after this, legislation happens. So right after the Vegas thing, oh, he had bump stocks. Oh, we got to make sure we make those bump stocks illegal. Everybody remembers that.
That's how.
Yeah, dude. Dude, he was a fucking expert marksman, apparently, dude. He took out 800 people. You know what I mean? He was lighting them up, bro.
And still had time to
No, man. There's videos that are gone, bro. I mean, you could probably find them, but you're not going to find them on YouTube. But there's videos of what looks like people getting shot from ground level from another direction. There's videos where it looks like people are getting shot from like these water towers that are like up over in the distance. There's videos that look, sound, and there's witness testimony saying that they were being shot from the helicopters, right?
Wow.
There was people saying that they were being shot from multiple places in the Mandalay Bay. This was not one asshole. This was a planned, coordinated attack, multiple shooters, multiple directions. You know what I mean? Okay, let me break this down. 9/11, let's use this example. 9/11, there was buildings that fell that never got hit by a plane, right? They didn't get hit with falling building debris, right? They fell because one of the planes crashed into a field, right? The plan didn't happen, and the plane crashed early into a field. But they had already rigged these buildings and evacuated the people. Building 6, anybody can look this up. Building 6. I know people are going to be like, you're talking about Building 7, bro? No, Building 6 collapses after it was evacuated, before the towers fell. So it wasn't like shit fell on it and then it collapses. Why did it collapse? Because the plane that hit in the field in Pennsylvania was supposed to hit Building 6 and it never made it. And they were like, send it anyways. Pull the thing, whatever, blow it up, right? So same situation here. If you're going to do an event that's like on the level of 9/11, Vegas shooting, any of these mass events, if you're going to do it, you make sure it happens by any means necessary. If that means having 12 shooters from 12 angles, if you're going to assassinate Kennedy, you're going to have 12 shooters from 12 angles. You know what I mean? It's not going to be the one guy that you pin it on, you know?
Right.
This is so fish, dude.
What are you reading about?
So it says that.
Also, let me just for 1 second, because I'm just seeing the picture.
fish.
The Mandalay Bay, the location, the pyramid, that's part of it. The pyramid, if you look at the top down of the Mandalay Bay and it's a cross and like there's the whole.
It's like a 3.
Yeah, it's like
On the bottom.
it's a symbolic. It's symbolic. Everything's symbolic, right?
Yeah.
It's all symbolic.
It says he ultimately fired over 1,000 rounds. So you just do some quick maths on that.
1,000 rounds.
He's hitting almost every shot.
Wait, hold up. He ultimately fired over 1,000 rounds, approximately 490 yards.
So 1,000 rounds, and he hit 867 people.
411.
Was that 867 including the deaths or not including? Are we sure about that?
No, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
It
does.
was 900.
Okay, but that's even closer to
That's what I'm
1,000.
saying. 5 football fields away, and he's almost doesn't miss. And then it says
Yeah.
Paddock fired 8 bullets at a large jet fuel tank at the McCarran Internet. How do they know he shot 8 bullets here? He put 1,000 in the field, but they know he put 8 down there.
Right. Well, they were saying that the original theory was he was trying to hit those gas containers, and in his mind that he was going to blow them up, right? And it was going to be like this thing.
It says 2 actually struck the tank.
Here's how you can tell that
1
this
penetrated, so that's 3. How do they know he put another 5 down?
Listen,
out of all that.
Here's how you know that their official story is bullshit. They contradicted themselves on a big thing. They said that he fired 8 shots at those giant fuel tanks to try to blow them up. That's what they said that he did. They also said that he had a car full of explosives in the parking lot. Put that together.
Why would he need?
He was shooting at a fuel tank to try to get it to blow up. But down in the parking garage, he had a car full of explosives. He must have forgot that he had the car full of explosives. You were a cop, right? So when you pulled people over, you weren't a cop. If you were ever a cop and you had to have pulled somebody over and they were like, "Oh, I forgot that was in there." Did that ever work for you? They're like, "What's this crack pipe doing in here?" They're like, "Oh, I forgot that I did crack. I forgot that I smoked crack, you know? So I forgot that the crack pipe was in there." That's kind of what's going on here.
Yeah.
I forgot that I had a car full of explosives, so I'm shooting at the gas tank to try to get it to blow up. Bullshit. You know what I mean?
867 people were injured, 411 with gunshot wounds and shrapnel injury. That's
Shrapnel.
I don't know
What could that be from?
pass through.
Shrapnel injuries, that's what most of them were.
I would think shrapnel would be like if there was an explosion.
No,
like
I mean,
how do you get
if you got
shrapnel from a
fragmenting
gunshot?
bullets, yeah, if you got a bullet, let's say a bullet hits his body, right, and it hits a bone or something, it'll fragment that.
So someone.
And I'll get little pieces of it, and you might get little pieces of it. Or if the bullet hits this concrete block over here, it'll fragment, and I might get some shrapnel.
I guess.
Pepper my whole shit, without actually taking a round. So I could see that being the case, but still,
to me it seems a little excessive
it
of
was
a number.
an orchestrated attack, that's for sure. I mean, just look at how quick it went away. Look how fast all of the people disappeared, like the security guard. Where's his wife? His brother got arrested for pedophile shit. Paddock's hard drive in the hotel room was missing from the laptop. However, the one that they found at his house was full of child porn, right? And so it's just like there's a lot of shit that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Too many unanswered questions.
Always.
So, what are you?
Don't believe everything you see on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah,
Why?
Wikipedia. Anybody could change Wikipedia.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like 4chan poll, which misidentified the shooter. Your News Wire spreads false information. They falsely claimed he had linked to it, so it's like stories linking him to Antifa have been discredited. So
Right.
Of course, they'll blow off anything.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying any of this. Maybe everything that they have told us is exactly the way it is. Right? Maybe 9/11 was a bunch of dudes from caves that planned this attack out. Maybe there really was weapons of mass destruction over there in Iraq. Maybe we were wrong this whole time. Maybe they had to do the LSD experiments on people in the 60s to learn how to do mind control. Maybe I'm just, maybe the penicillin, maybe they just didn't realize that they had the penicillin to give the black people that had syphilis for 40 years.
Sure.
Maybe I'm just, I don't know. Maybe that they were going to blame Cuba for anything and everything they could to go invade Cuba, just because fuck Cuba,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just overreacting. It's just the way that they said. I'm sure.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Did you guys get your
that's
vaccines
pretty
yet?
No. Not getting
no?
it.
Kramer, you get your vaccine yet? No.
But you know what I found interesting today? I was watching, Jen Psaki, however you say her name, doing her little talking. Psaki. How do you say it?
I don't know. Who cares? I like her. I like her.
GM grants
I
Oh,
like her, actually.
I like watching her.
Yeah.
I've never watched so much.
I like watching her.
Funny.
I'm not even going to give her
I
shit.
mean, yeah, it's
She's
irritating.
good. She's good at... Okay.
She's good at doing what they want her to
Yeah,
do.
there's no way that she can answer some of the questions because some of the questions there's just no answer to. So she does her
Yeah.
best, and I get that. But she's good at being a face of bullshit. She's really good at it.
Oh, she's so obnoxious. Like,
perfect.
she's so good at being in that role for
it's perfect.
them.
I love it.
Yeah. I mean, she's like, oh, she just gets so like snarky too. And it's like, your job is to answer people's questions and you're all irritated that people are asking you questions. But anyways, she was talking today. What were we just talking about? I lost my train of thought.
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, what was...
Pisaki.
Pisaki. No, what were we talking about before?
I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Oh, man.
Well, it happens.
It was something about Biden.
Can't win them all.
Oh, the vaccines.
Vaccines?
I was thinking about the vaccines. She was talking today, and she was talking about the Johnson & Johnson vaccine that got approved or whatever. And she was saying this one's more of a traditional vaccine.
Right.
I'm like, if you have to, like, say it like that, clearly there's something... I don't know. It's just... the whole thing with the shots in the arms of Americans, it was like, why are they saying it like that? And I know you said it was like trauma-based mind control, but then I started to think like maybe they're wording it differently because it's different and they're using a play on words, you know, so that they can't get in trouble
I don't know,
for
because they're still
calling it something.
a vaccine, but we know that it's not a vaccine.
It's not. And then the fact that she called this one a more traditional type of vaccine, it's like, how much more do people need to see that these are not
Let's do a little game. You know, anybody go through the group, right? Go through the Shadow Band group on Facebook and scroll down and look at all the stuff that's flagged as fake news. Go look for it. Go look at it all. There's not any. There's been a couple of flags that we've looked and we've removed because it is some bullshit like, okay, you know, like maybe like the way that this meme was presented isn't necessarily true, so we remove it, right? But there's nothing on that page that's flagged as fake. Why? Because it's not fake. And there's some crazy shit on that page. We talk about all kinds of shit's posted there that just is still not flagged because it's not bullshit.
So what are your thoughts on why there is a new vaccine that is different?
Because they've already... Okay, look. There's a couple things. One, the
I
cat's
have my
out
own
of the
opinion.
bag. Well, what's yours? Go ahead.
Mine is that they needed to come up with a traditional type of vaccine for the people that don't want to get this mRNA and are all conspiracy theorists and whatever, so that they can get everybody to get vaccinated.
Could be.
So they have this one for the people that are desperate and need to get it ASAP, and then this one coming out for the people that are skeptical of the first two. But they could ultimately all be the same. I don't know.
You know, I don't really know. You know, I don't know what the vaccine play is.
It's just like, if you really think about it, why do we need 3 different vaccines that are doing the same thing?
Well, we know what the mRNA was. It was a rushed project that was funded years prior. It wasn't like, oh shit, here's Corona. Let's figure some new technology out. Happens to be mRNA. Here's the vaccine. That's not how it worked. How it worked was, here's money to develop mRNA vaccines. Oh shit, coronavirus comes about. Just so happens we got this mRNA vaccine, right? So, you know, if you follow the money, you can see how it really played out, right? So the mRNA was not a vaccine. It is not a vaccine. You can look up on the CDC website. They tell you what a vaccine is.
Right.
And they'll tell you that this is a therapy. It's not a vaccine.
Right.
So I think that the cat's out the bag. There's too many people who did the research and they can't cover it up forever. The more they try to cover it up, the less trust they get from people because more people figure this out, right? Like your dude, right? The dude you're telling me about.
My dude.
Well, not your dude. The guy, your buddy, wherever, sending the podcast. Next thing you know, he's sending you a long spiel about how he's actually thinking out of the box, right? This whole time you just thought he was over there doing accounting or whatever the hell he was doing. And really, in his mind, he's thinking about like the mRNA shit and the 5G and this and that. And it's like, you don't really think about how many people around you are really thinking about shit. You know, we were talking, me and Alyssa went to Wawa the other day and we walked out of there and we looked at each other and smiled because we were like, damn, that felt really good. Neither one of us had masks. Again, there were so many people that looked at us, right? And like we could feel the sense of people that just wanted to take it off. Like one dude behind the counter, he made a point to like pull his mask down and like talk to me for a minute. And I could just sense like he didn't want to wear it anymore. He's been wearing it for 8 hours. You know, here comes like the one dude that he sees in a blue moon throughout the day without it.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
Let me tell you about our experience at Downtown Disney. I'm boycotting Disney like in any way, shape, or form. We went to Downtown Disney because we did like a staycation right by Downtown Disney and we wanted to just walk around. We knew that they required masks, so we adults had our masks on. They would not let us in there if we did not put masks on our kids, even though they were like buckled into their stroller. They had a vending machine, right, where because you have to like get your temperature taken before you go in, and to an outdoor
walk around.
It's not even a theme park. It's just like it's like a Waterford Lakes, but Disney, you know? So they block every entrance off. That was one night we had to go to the vending machine and buy masks out of the vending machine to put on our little children, even Oliver, who's 2, because he was 2. Now he has to wear a mask. I was pissed. That
How
guy.
does that work? Oh, he's 2. He's 2 now. He's got to wear a mask. So wait, like yesterday, he didn't have to. Yesterday, the virus is ineffective.
Yep.
But today he turns 2.
Yep.
So now the virus, all of a sudden, like it woke up. It was like, oh, 2nd birthday. Time for me to go out and fuck some shit up.
And I'm like, he's 2. And they're like, yeah, he has to wear a mask. So then the next day we went back because we wanted to go to the T-Rex Cafe to pick up a T-Rex toy. But we wanted to go early when it wasn't busy. So we went and we drove that time because we were in walking distance the night before. So we just walked there. This time we just drove. And we had to get in the parking garage, and they literally were like herding us like cattle in the parking garage. They had all of these gates that you had to walk through this long, windy thing to get up and get your temperature taken. And, you know, we already knew they were going to force us to put the masks on the kids, so we had them on, but Oliver is 2, so he kept pulling his down. And then we get up to get our temperatures taken, and they're like, you need to make sure he keeps that mask over his nose. And I was like, we'll try.
Have you ever dealt with a 2-year-old?
I was pissed. He was like, putting his little thermometer thing at me. And I was just like, I don't even want to go to this friggin' T-Rex store anymore.
You just made me think about the corralling thing, right? Like,
yeah,
we talked about
it literally, I don't know about you, but I felt like being herded, right? You know, like it was like we were all just like going through the line, you know, and I'm like, this is like a public place, so I'm not paying admission to go here. Like
people forget, or they just don't pay attention to a few things, right? While we have been social distancing and
we didn't have to socially distance in that line,
right? Of course not. No, it's a line.
There was
to get your temperature
thousands
taken.
of people there.
Yeah. No, here's what people don't really think about all the time because they're too caught up in the little bullshit, right? Here's the thing. We've all been social distancing. We've all been wearing our masks. We've all been closing our businesses, not being able to pay our rent, relying on government checks that never come. We've been doing all these things while people like Nancy Pelosi go to the hair salon without a mask and get her hair did, while like all these senators go out to restaurants with their big groups of lobbyists and they all sit around without their masks and they have, $300 pasta dishes, right? Look that up. That's
Yep.
happening right now.
I
But
believe
while
it.
these other senators are going to jail for spending $65,000 of taxpayers' money on fucking dry cleaning and groceries.
I was livid. I was livid. You're walking around outside, and they are literally policing people with their masks. If it's not covering your nose, they'll tell you to put it up above your nose. If like the only way you can get away with having your mask pulled down is if you're eating or drinking. So it's like, what do I need to sit there and hold a straw up to my face all day so I don't have to wear a mask? Like, it's honestly ridiculous. And the fact that it's Disney. I mean, their whole thing is like it's supposed to be the happiest place on earth, and I'm pissed. So I'm never coming back. Like, it's not fun to have to tell your 2-year-old 500 times to pull their mask up, and I don't even want them wearing them anyways. You know,
It's
like
already hard enough to take a 2-year-old to Disney.
anywhere.
Yeah.
I
Anywhere.
don't-
Disney especially.
Right.
Like, you got to bring the water, all the shit.
I do not make them wear a mask anywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear it. I'm not going to make them wear it, you know, and nobody ever says anything.
Here's what I noticed, right? The people who are the first ones that I see online in these videos, right? Because I watch like these cringe videos online of like the maskers going after the anti-maskers, blah, blah, blah. And it's comical to me, right?
Yeah.
The ones who are always the first ones to say some shit and be all like, put your mask on. You don't care about so-and-so. White women. Listen, man. Go downtown. I don't care what city you live in. Go downtown on a Friday or a Saturday night. Just do it. Go downtown and go into the club. Right now. Go do it this weekend. Do a little experiment, social experiment. Everybody's sitting around on their phone. Go do some shit. Get outside. Go downtown. Go to the club. Look around. Look at who's in the club. Look how many people are in the club. I guarantee you it's 300 people in that
Yeah.
club. I guarantee you 0 of them have a mask. They're all shoulder to shoulder. Everybody's dancing just like this is 2019. Nobody gives a shit until you're in Publix.
Yeah.
Until you're the only one in Publix without a mask. And homegirl, right? Your 22-year-old white girl, like you're saying, comes up and she's like, you don't have a mask on? And it's like, no, I don't have a
It's
mask
so
on. Just like
true.
you didn't have a mask on at the club the other night
Yeah.
for 6 hours while you were grinding up on 12 different dudes, right? And having
And
shots,
sharing drinks with
having
people.
shots squirting at your mouth from 12 feet across the bar, right? Get at me about that later.
It's
you know?
just infuriating. Like, you're going to police people that hard about a mask, but we're literally bumping into each other. There's so many people. Like,
I go to the drive-thru still. I laughed at the guy. The guy even laughed through the window when he handed me the food, right? Because I went through.
oh, don't even get me started about Starbucks.
Yeah, he stuck the plastic bin. We all know
Yes.
we've been there. It's
It
a
makes
year now.
me so
he
mad.
brought the bin out and he handed me the bin, and I looked at him. I looked at the bin in the bag, and I was just like, all right, yeah. And he just kind of chuckled too, and I was like, I get it, bro. You touched all the things.
Yes. Starbucks, they put your cup, they have a coffee mug, and they stick your coffee in a coffee mug and then hand it to you like that. Like, you already touched all of my stuff to make that. Like, sometimes I just want to purposely touch their hand
Bill's
just because I'm so mad about it.
Bill's pottery shop, Joe's whatever house, right? All these small shops, family-owned businesses, whatever, done, gone. 30% of them, done. Look it up. 30% of the small businesses in the last year, gone,
Yeah.
right? But guess what has been open the whole time? No problem. Walmart,
Target,
Target,
Publix,
Starbucks.
Yep.
All these corporate, conglomerates, all the engineers that still show up to Google every day.
We don't go to
we're working
Starbucks
from home
anymore.
and shit, but yeah, all of the big ones are open. But your business can't be open anymore. Screw you,
Yeah.
right? The stimulus money. I don't personally believe in UBI, Universal Basic Income. If it works, great. Send me a check. I'll cash it. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? I'm not like running around like I want free money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? However, I'm still waiting on my stimulus check. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
everybody got theirs. Where's mine? Still haven't gotten it. Right?
Now you just got to file your taxes.
No, I already did, and they're going to attach it to the taxes, and that's all good. You know what I mean? Like, again, I'm not the one that's out here waiting for my free money, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, they're sending money to other countries. They just bombed Syria, right? There's so much government waste and all this money, and we're spending trillions of dollars on who knows what. Remember the day before 9/11, there was $3 trillion that the government accounting office they just couldn't figure out what happened to it. It's not like it went missing or it was stolen or some bullshit. They spent it on the wrong thing. No, they just didn't. A couple trillion. Well, we don't know what happened. Sorry.
Big deal.
The next day, all the
fell out of
accounting,
my pocket.
all of the spots that were hit in 9/11 in the Pentagon, Building 6, like I was talking about, Building 7 that collapsed, right? All of the shit that was in the actual towers themselves, all finance, all of the exchange commissions, all of the, the investigation offices, like from the FBI, like all these different things that we're gonna have to be involved with looking into the trillions that they just couldn't find. Trillions gone.
Very interesting.
So all of that attention immediately.
We'll have to do a
shifted.
9/11 episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because I've never dug into
There's too much.
9/11 that deep.
We could do a whole podcast, just 9/11 podcast, and it'll go for 100 episodes.
I watched like a documentary once, but I don't. Was it a conspiracy theory documentary? Do you remember? I don't remember.
He doesn't know. If anybody wants to look into 9/11, watch Loose Change or like Zeitgeist. Those are the ones that got me looking into that stuff 10, 15 years ago. Those are good ones. Loose Change and Zeitgeist. Go watch that.
I like watching documentaries, so maybe I will watch those. Where are they, on YouTube?
Probably at this point. You can probably find them anywhere.
Well, that was good. I need to get that out about those masks at Disney because I'm still mad about it.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm at that point where I think I'm going to just start not wearing my mask places and doing what you do and saying like, oh, if they ask me to put a mask on, then do you have one to give me? And if not, I'll go somewhere else because I'm just like, I'm done with it. I don't have to go in the office anymore, so I don't have to wear one at work. This is my start.
I will still wear my mask willingly for one reason, because I do believe that it's helping fight against the facial recognition that's happening. You know what I mean? I think there are good things about wearing a mask. It looks metal, right? It'll fight the facial recognition, and people are just fucking gross. You don't have to try to scare me with a 99.8 or 99.7%
But I feel
survival
like
rate.
at the same time, it's like we kind of need to take a stand because this is going on for so long.
For sure.
And like, I was thinking about it. I'm like, what if somebody planned some big event that everyone went to downtown Disney and then just took their masks off all together?
It wouldn't matter. It would be like
but
this.
I mean,
it would be another Capitol
what are they
riot
going to
situation.
say when everyone does it, But it's like everybody's too scared.
Domestic terrorism.
Everybody's too scared,
You're going to be charged with domestic terrorism.
And even me, it's like, I don't want to get in trouble, because I'm like a rule follower. I don't like confrontation. I'm just wear the mask, like I don't go above and beyond anything. But like if I have to wear it inside a Target, I'll wear it inside of Target. But like I'm getting to the point where I'm like, no, I'm so over this crap.
I'm done shopping at Target.
I'm friggin'
Don't
taking
go to Target. Stop shopping. Why are you shopping at Target? What are you buying at Target?
Food.
Why are you buying food at Target?
Because it's convenient. I can drive up.
They don't even have a good grocery store at Target.
It's not that bad.
Stop shopping at Target.
I get most of my groceries from Aldi, but
that's a little better. But
where do you get groceries?
I mean, personally,
like where?
Personally, I'm a lazy
cows
ass.
that you
I
kill?
Eat out more than I cook.
Okay,
you know
then.
I'm terrible.
We don't
I'm supporting
really
local
eat out
businesses.
like
I get
that
like
much.
Chinese takeout a lot. You know what I mean? And I get pizza, but I don't go to like Papa John's. I go to like
okay, so do we.
Pepino's,
like when we go
corner
get
pizza.
coffee, we go to this local coffee shop. We don't go to Starbucks anymore. We try and do where we can. But yeah, when you've got two kids,
I know.
it's
feel you.
easier.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
But anyways,
listen, if you want to wear your mask, wear your mask. Nobody gives a fuck anymore. I'm just saying, like, you don't have to try to scare
wear your
me.
masks. We all need to stop wearing them.
Do what you want. I don't want to tell people what to do.
No, I'm not telling people what to do. But for the people that have been wanting to do it, they need to just do it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take it off, bro. I take mine off. I'm telling you right now.
Because that's the thing. The longer we all just are too scared, it's like, I don't think There are people that want to wear it, that are scared of getting coronavirus and want to wear it. But there's people like me who don't really care, but I don't want the confrontation.
Right.
I'm over it. If you're like me,
I'm welcoming the
let's
confrontation at this
band
point.
together
Yeah.
and stop wearing it, because that's the only way it's gonna go away,
I mean,
is
look at
if we're
Texas.
not just like blindly
Texas
following.
is done with it. They're releasing
Yeah.
they're opening up, no mandates. So you're not the only one who feels this way. I feel
Yeah.
the same way as you, but I'm just saying, like,
I just think the longer we keep doing it without like
I think that there's
complaining or
if you
trying to
wanna wear
take
the
a stance,
mask, you
it's
can
like
wear
they're
it
just gonna let
because
us keep doing it.
fuck it, do what you want to do is my whole point. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
Yeah.
don't have to scare me with COVID to wear the mask. You could just tell me people are gross. People are gross. If I'm like, about to get out of my car to go into Wawa and I'm like, I'm not wearing my mask, and I see some nasty, greasy motherfucker walking right in front of me, I might just put my mask on just because, like, it's not even
Yeah.
the Rona. It's just like, I don't want to breathe your air.
Right.
I don't want your oxygen on me. If I could, like, walk around with, like, a leaf blower and just, like, blow your bubble away, like, I would. But, like,
Right.
fuck it.
I agree. It has its benefits, but it's the fear part and the like forcing part that I'm done
You're not
with.
forcing me to do shit.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Like you're gonna make me not let me in somewhere because I'm not putting it on my 2-year-old. Like, no.
Bye.
Yeah. Done with you.
Bye.
Freaking Disney.
All right. I think we're good. Whatever. Thanks for listening.